G'day folks, Wren here, and it is time for July's TBRGate with a twist. I wanted to do something different for July because July is my birthday month and I'm turning 30. So I decided to do something I did in December for December's round of TBRGate, and that is to use some cards. So in December I had 5 groups of cards. And then for every glyph that I landed on, whatever season that episode was from, I chose that block of cards. A category for season 1, a category for season 2, 3, 4, 5. To make it easier on myself, I color coded. The colors represent the seasons. So season 1 is yellow, season 2 is orange, season 3 is pink, season 4 is blue, and season 5 is green. So for season 1, I have a series that I want to continue, get further along in. Some of these are from my series progress spread that I have in my reading journal. Some are new ones that I've started this year that I wanted to get through. So that's what the season 1 is, so series continuations. Season 2 is queer. So I got the LGBT and A, and I put them on cards. So one says bisexual, one says lesbian, you know, so it was queer. And then for the rest of the seasons, I wanted to include some of my Booktube friends and just people on Booktube that I watch all the time and I love their content. So that's what I've done for the next few seasons. So I split them up into areas. For season 3, we have US/Canada. So we have some of my friends like Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, or like people I super admire like Katie from Katie Colson. And then what I did with these ones was I have 3 options to pick from, similar to what I had in December's pick when I had Booktube favorites, and I had a booktuber and then 3 books to choose from. So there are 3 books to choose from all of these. 2 of them are books that booktuber has loved a lot, given 5 stars, considered a favorite, one of those things. And then the 3rd option is one that booktuber has recommended. So sometimes I got actual recommendations. So if I knew the person well enough, I asked them, give me a recommendation if they hadn't already. Some of them had. Like in the past, they're like, you should read this. So I made a note of that and I put it on these cards. Whereas sometimes if it's for booktubers I, don't have that kind of relationship with yet, I would just put a book like I know they talk about all the time. So like for Katie, I put Bunny. I will tell you who I've got for each of these. So for US/Canada, we have Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, Chelsea from Chelsea Zhao, Gabby from Gabby Reads, Katie from Katie Colson, and Kayla from Books and Lala. And then I have my UK friends and booktubers that I really enjoy. And so for all of them, I have Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, Kirsty from K-Beth Bookish, Gemma from Bookish Gems, Steph from Steph Loves, and Leanne from Literary Diversions. Then last up for season 5 with the pretty shiny cards, I have my Aussie friends. So I really am so appreciative of my Australian book friends because they have welcomed me so readily into this little group, and I have made such amazing friends with all of these people, and I'm so grateful for all of them. But so the 5 that I chose, so I have Mel from Book Fiend Named Mel, Paige from Pages with Paige, Meredith from Reading with Merb, Crystal from Bond Book Reviews, and Sasha from Sash Reads. So if the puddle jumper landed on one of those sections, I would pick a card. I would either use that prompt to pick a book, or I would read the next one in that series, or I would pick one of the booktuber books. So that's what's happening. Now, some other things for July. For July, it's like I'm trying to be really easy on myself because it's my birthday month. I want to take it easy. I am also gonna be in New Zealand when you see this, and I will be in New Zealand for kind of the first 2 weeks of July, so I'm trying to take it easy on myself. There is no hive ships on this board. we're just ignoring any hive ships that were left over from June. I will probably get back to those hive ships in August. So when you see my August TBRGate, the board will look like it would have at the end of June. So there is no hive ships, there's no ZPMs, there's no changing thing. It doesn't matter if I complete this TBR or not. I'm not going to get any hive ships for this. It's just a completely free month. So everyone that keeps screaming at me to take care of myself, I am now for 1 month and 1 month only. Let's get into the game. The color codes for every season, and then the color codes for the cards for every season. Now let's go. We will do 7 rolls. So because this is a special TBRGate, the puddle jumper is going to start on the free space up at the top. But we will still have the same character cards if we land on a chevron. Spin number 1. 4. Okay, so that landed on a pink, which is season 3 card. So these have already been pre-shuffled. So let's go with whatever this says. I'm so nervous. Ooh, okay, so we got Kayla. So my 3 options are Ask the Passengers, Reality Boy, or Finley Donovan is Killing It. So the first season I landed on was season 3, and for that card I picked out Kayla from Books and Lala. So the 3 options I had for Kayla were Ask the Passengers, Reality Boy, and for the recommendation, Finley Donovan is Killing It. Out of these 3, it was a bit hard to choose, because like I do want to read Finley Donovan. I at least want to read the first one. It seems like the series has kind of gone downhill, but I at least want to read the first one. But Ask the Passengers and Reality Boy I both own, so I was like, I should probably pick that. Reality Boy by A.S. King. This sounds interesting. I really never knew what it was about. I just knew that I had seen it on Kayla's shelves, and I know that A.S. King is one of Kayla's favorite authors, but I just saw it on an op shop, so I bought it, and then I only recently found out what this was about when I did my curating my shelves. So it's about this teenager who's like been on reality TV like his whole life. It's like he's kind of become this persona of this angry teen. This boy is trying to better himself or calm himself down, control his anger issues, but everyone is just waiting for him to go off again. And like, that's a lot of pressure. So it sounds like it could be interesting. I'm not usually interested in anything to do with fame or media, but this sounds like it could be interesting. All right, spin number 2. 5. Okay, so we landed on an orange, which is season 2. And we'll go with whatever this one is. Alright. Ooh, an asexual book. Okay, that's awesome. I definitely need more ace rep in my life. So next up, I landed on a season 2 prompt, and this one was the queer, and the one I got for that was asexual, which is awesome. And so the book I chose for this is All the Wrong Places by Anne Gallagher. This is technically number 14 in Blue Water Bay series. From what I can gather, it's one of those series where like you don't have to read it in order, but I've been intrigued to read this for a really long time because of its asexual rep, and it just seems like it could be cute. Also like small town vibes. Okay, so our main character has had a string of bad relationships. He comes to the conclusion that he's not good at sex, so he goes to a sex shop to like get some advice, where he meets the worker there, and this guy says, I don't think you're bad at anything, I just think you might be asexual. I don't love how that sounds, but we'll see how it goes. So I really love reading asexual romance books, so I'm really intrigued to read this one. I've had it on my Kindle for ages, and I'm like, I just need to read it. Alright, spin number 3. 2. So that's a chevron, because of course it is. Alright, so that means we got to pick a character card. Whoa. Okay. Ooh, Major Evan Lorne. That's awesome. I love Evan. So then I landed on a Chevron, and I left the Chevrons as is for this round because I do love these character cards. The character that I got is Major Evan Lorne. I love Lorne. He's so like straightforward about things, but he has like this bit of humor to him, and he just fits so well into the Atlantis dynamic. So the 3 prompts for Lorne are seen you before, continue a series, because we had seen Lorne on SG1 for like 1 episode. It's queer in the fandom, an LGBTQIA2S+ book, and fan favorite, so a hyped book. I obviously went for the prompt you all think I'm going to go for, which is the queer one, because I feel like I've been lacking in queer books this year. And so for my queer book, I've decided to choose Queens of Geek by Jen Wild. Now this was very kindly gifted to me by Sasha from Sash Reads. I adore you, thank you so much, you're amazing. And I've wanted to read this for years because it's geeky and queer and neurodiverse. Like, love all those things. So this is about 2 people going to a convention, like a fan convention. It seems a lot of stuff happens at this convention, and I love conventions. They're really, really fun. And so reading a book about one is going to be awesome. And we have one sapphic relationship, I believe, and another character who I'm pretty sure has OCD. For some reason, this just comes across as like a queer staple. One of those classic queer books that like you should read. So I really want to read this. It's also nice and short, so I'm really keen to read this. Alright, next spin. 13. So we landed on a blue, which is season 4. Alrighty. See who it is. Oh, it's Gavin. Okay. So I can either choose between Frostheart, Amari in the Great Game, or Dickfight Island. So next up, I got a season 4 prompt. So that is my UK Booktubers. So for this one, I got Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. I've been on such a Gavin kick lately. I've just been watching all of his videos. So the 3 options I had for Gavin were Frostheart, Amari in the Great Game, and Dickfight Island. Because one of my goals is to continue more series and finish some series, I went with Amari in the Great Game by B.B. Alston. So this is the second book in the Supernatural Investigation Bureau series. I think that's what the series is called. So this is the sequel to Amari and the Night Brothers, and I really enjoyed Amari and the Night Brothers. It's a middle grade paranormal investigation school training thing. Amari goes in search of her brother who went missing. It turns out that her brother was a part of this like secret paranormal investigation bureau thing, and she is able to go to that school, kind of like train to become an investigator, and there is certain magic things happening, and there's an evil person kind of that you're trying to overthrow. All the good stuff that comes with these types of books. And one of the things I really loved about this is Amari's friendships that she makes, and they were just so solid throughout the whole book, which is sometimes not always the case. And I am intrigued to see where the second one goes, because the first one left off on some very intriguing plot points. Alright, next spin. 2. Got a season 1. Alright. Okay. Let's see what this is. Oh, Del Toro quest. Okay, that's cool. At least it's short. So, next up, I got a season 1 prompt, and these are my series continuations. And so for this one, I got Del Toro Quest. This big old book is a bind-up of the entire Del Toro Quest books. I think there's 8. So the next one I'm up to is book 3, The City of Rats. Del Toro Quest is a pretty like common staple for middle grade books. Seems like everyone read this. I never did, but I'm reading them now, and they are such fun. This is a fantasy series where this person is going on a quest to find these magical gems that have been spread out throughout the lands and combine them to put them on a belt to help defeat a particularly dark and powerful person. Each book we go to a different area of this realm, and there's some trials to find whatever the gem is and all that good stuff. So it's a really good classic fantasy series, and I'm really enjoying it. They're really fun and entertaining, and I like our characters, and the world is so richly built. Like, it's a fascinating world. I'm having a really good time reading these, and if I can finish this whole thing by the end of the year, that would be awesome. Alright, next spin. Gonna say that's 11. That's a green, so that is season 5. Oh my gosh, is that... We've got through every season. That's awesome. Alright, who will this be? Oh, it's Mel! Okay, so The Name of the Wind, The Night Circus, or Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Interesting. Okay. Okay, next up, I got a season 5 prompt, which is my Australian Booktubers. And for this one, I got Mel from a book fiend named Mel. So the 3 options I had for Mel were The Name of the Wind, The Night Circus, and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Now, I was really interested in Johnny the Homicidal Maniac because Mel had recommended it to me from one of my videos, and I was like, I should like kind of do that. But I know if Max found out that I had the option to read The Night Circus and didn't take it, he'd be very cranky. So I'm gonna read The Night Circus. I have kind of just been putting this book off for years because I don't know if I'll like it, but like I want to give it a go. And then I lent it to Max and he read it and he was in love with it and he was like, you need to read this. And I was like, ugh, fine. So I'll give it a go. But I think Max said that the magic in this was really good and he really enjoyed all the magic stuff. But I don't really know what this is about. There's a circus a circus arrives without warning. Yeah, I'm sure everyone knows what this is about. There's some kind of circus. Okay, so 2 more spins. Let's see what we get. 16. So that is a yellow, season 1. Alright. Tales from Verania. Okay, awesome. We love some TJ Klune here. So next I landed on the season 1 prompt again, so that is another series continuation. And for this I got the Tales of Verania, which is a TJ Klune series, which, you know, I love TJ Klune, he's my fave. And the Tales of Verania is a fantasy series about a apprenticed wizard and him... how much can I say? He has like a little band of friends with him. They go on some quests to help Sam fulfill his destiny, even though he really hates that word. But it's such a funny series. Like, everyone is gay, but it is a very funny series. Like, the humor in this is something else, and I really enjoy it. So the book I'm up to is A Wish Upon the Stars, which is book 4, and I'm really intrigued to see where this is gonna go. Alright, what could potentially be our very last spin for this special edition of TBRGate? 10. Blue. Alright, our very last pick. Gemma. Awesome. So I have Blue Exorcist, The Last House on Needless Street, or Levius. So the last glyph that I landed on was a season 4 prompt, so that is another one of my UK friends. And for this one I got Gemma from Bookish Gems. I love Gemma. She's amazing. And the picks that I had for Gemma were Blue Exorcist, because that's like her favourite manga series ever, The Last House on Needless Street, because I own that, and Levius, which she has recommended to me before. It sounds like my kind of thing, so I'm going with Levius because I'm just so intrigued. So Levius is a manga series, cyborg gladiators, but like, you say gladiators and like I'm there. Gladiators are my thing. If you have any gladiator recommendations, please leave them down below. So I'll read you a bit of the synopsis because like it sounds like my kind of thing and I can't articulate it any better. As society rises from the ashes of war, cybernetically augmented arena fighters battle for fame and fortune or die trying. It's the 19th century and the world has entered the era of rebirth, recovering from the devastating flames of war. The sport of mechanical martial arts has galvanized the nations. I'll stop there because it just sounds good. And I'm so intrigued about this. I've flipped through a few of the pages. Like, the art seems really good and like very clean from the few little panels that I saw. But I'm really intrigued to read this because I've been wanting to forever. Unfortunately, it's like 680 pages. It's a lot, but I'm so keen because like I miss gladiators. Gladiators are amazing. Anyways, that was it. That is all of the picks for July. But wait, I'm gonna add a few more. So for some of these booktuber recommendation ones, I had a lot of them where I'm like, people have previously recommended me books, so I just wrote those down. But there were a couple of people where I hadn't gotten a specific recommendation from in the past, so I asked them in particular for this video, and those ones didn't get chosen. But I'll read them anyways, and I didn't get them off the shelves. But I can't be bothered to get them down. So from Brittany Loves Reading, she recommended that I read To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. This is a chunker of a sci-fi book, but I'm very intrigued to read it. I have no idea what it's about. It's huge, but like I own it and it's taking up so much space on my sci-fi shelf. So if I could read it, that would be great. And then Chelsea from Chelsea Zhao, I asked for her recommendation and she chose Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. I am really intrigued about this because I love the trope of retired people getting back into their job, especially if it's violent. Like, you know the movie Red? I love Red and Red 2. They're good because it's, you know, older people who were like hit men and hit women, hit people, and they get back into the job. Kings of the Wild is kind of like that, where it's a bunch of retired warriors, let's just call them warriors. I think one of their daughters gets kidnapped potentially. So they get the band back together and they go out and find her. But like a bunch of grumpy old men doing some violent stuff sounds fun in book form, not in real life. And then the last recommendation I got was from Paige, from Pages with Paige, and she recommended A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. This book is like, everyone hypes it up so much, and I'm gonna be honest, I tried to read it about a month ago. I mean, it was my own fault. I was listening to the audiobook while I was trying to sleep, so then I fell asleep partway through, and just thought I could just keep listening and I would understand everything. I didn't, so I like DNF'd it. But like, I'm not counting it as a DNF because I'm like, I fell asleep. It doesn't count. So Paige recommended it to me, so I'm gonna try it again and hopefully love it. But it's about a monk who is gonna go serve tea to people. I don't really know, but everyone says it's very wholesome, and I think they say it's sad too. Or like makes you think or something. Everyone just says it's amazing, so I'm gonna give it a go. These are some of the books for July, as well as a few more. Just like imagine To Sleep in a Sea of Stars on here, it'd be like this big. And I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that has been supporting me on BookTube for the past several months. It's very much appreciated, and to all of my friends that I've made here, thank you so much. You mean a lot to me, and you're all lovely people. So I went through at the beginning who is all on these cards, so if you want to see what some of their recommendations were, I will leave that clip here and you can find out what I chose for you or what I chose for one of your favourite booktubers. Okay, so for those of you who might want to see who else is here, so the rest of the threes are Katie, Gabby, Brittany, and Chelsea. The rest of the fours were Steph, Leanne, and Kirsty. And then the rest of the fives, Sasha, Crystal, Meredith, and Paige. That is my, the books I'll read for the month I turn 30. Fun time for me. I'm looking forward to being 30. It's gonna be good. I'm ready for like thriving in my 30s. And I mean, I'm starting it off by going to Hobbiton, so like, of course it's gonna be amazing. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.